Okay, so today we're going to begin with November 2019. Question of November 2019. Question 1C. November 2019, question 1C. So the question says, a small economy has two sectors, X1, X2, producing a single product for their internal and external demand in units, summarized in the following transaction. You are told to get the projected consumer demand changes to 400 units and 800 units for sectors 1 and 2 respectively. So you are told to get the required gross output of each sector in order to meet the new demand. So this question is on what we call input output analysis. Input output analysis. Input output analysis. Now I want us to start by preparing what we will call or before you draw that table, when you're told to look for total output, when you're told to look for total output, there are two formulas that are used. The first one is X is equals to A plus Y. Now this one we use it when in totals, when A is in totals or whole numbers. So we can write together when A is in totals. Or you can say X is equals to I minus A inverse Y. Now this is when A is in ratios or Y has changed. Or Y has changed. So those are the two formulas that we use for getting the total output. For getting the total output. So with that, we are going to have what we will call a current transactions table. Transactions table. So in this current transactions table, we will have the user, we have the user here. We have what we call intermediate demand. Intermediate demand, which is represented by matrix A. Then we have final demand, which is represented by Y, so here we have the consumer. So we have two sectors. This is sector X1 and sector X2. Now this is total output, which is A plus Y is equals to X. A plus Y is equals to X. So I have details here. So this is the output or the producer. Producer, we have sector X1. We have sector X2. These are inputs. We have the secondary. We have the primary. And we have the total. So this one is 500. This is 800. This is 200. This is 600. This is 1400. And this is 400. So get to that point. You're not yet through the drawing. So for this one, because we are given in bold, we can use this formula. X is equals to A plus Y. So remember these two, they make our A, and this is our Y. I think I should have put it in brackets. That is our Y. So when you add, this will be 1,500, no? And then this one, it will be 2,400 when you add. Then I told you when you add these two, the total here, 1,100, is called secondary input. It's called secondary. Then this one, when you add 22, is called secondary again. Then we said, because of the concept of absence of returns, the total output should be equal to total input. So sector 1's output is the same as the input here, and the same case here. Sasa, the value that remains for the secondary to be equal to the total is what you are calling the primary. So what remains? 400. Now here now the what? 200. That is how it is supposed to look like. But this is not what the examiner wanted. This is not what the examiner wanted. But now that I'm still teaching, in as much as we are revising, I'm doing everything that I think is necessary for you to deal with anything they can bring. So what the examiner wanted is X when Y has what? Has changed. So if Y has changed, then you have to use this formula. You have to use this formula. So the first thing now is compute what we call technological coefficients matrix. Technological coefficients matrix. Technological coefficients matrix. Now, this technological coefficients matrix, we have the user here, where we have X1, and we have the producer here, X1 and X2. So we said what you do, you take these values, these 500, because they are in row, they are in column 1. these two, because they're in column 1, you divide them by the total of row 1. That is how simple I can put it for exam purposes. Start kuenda mambo ya input output ya nini. I think that is good enough to grab. This is column 1. Unatumia total ya row 1. So we shall divide by 1500. Na hii ingine utakuja niseme 600, we divide by what? 1500. So chukua calculator unipatie this figure. So we can confine ourselves to 2 decimals, 0.33, 0.4 exact. Okay. Then we come here now to the next one. The next one are 800 and 1400. Now these ones, they are in column 2. And as I've said, you divide by the total of row 2. So that is 2400 and 2400 here. So give me this, 800 divided by 2400. 0.33 again. And this other one. 0.58. Good. So tengeneza your matrix quickly. So that is the one we call matrix A. Maybe I needed to have said this is matrix A. Technological coefficients matrix A. So with that now, you proceed and tell us I minus A is equals to 1, 0, 0, 1, the identity matrix. You minus 0.33, 0.40, 0.33, 0.58. So the matrix you will get, I want you to get the inverse for it. The inverse over 2 by 2. Of what you get here, you get the inverse. Just a minute, I have something. We are through. Tumepata nini hapa? 0.67 alafu minus 0.33 yeah. Then minus 0.4 and 0.42. So the first thing is after determinant. Yeah. So the determinant will be 0.67 multiplied by 0.42. You minus 0.4 times minus 0.33. What did you get? Zero point 1494. 1494. That does not mess you. The next thing that we do is to get what we call the new matrix. And the new matrix you get it by changing positions of the major diagonal so that you have 0.42 here and 0.67. Then you change the signs of the minor diagonal so you have 0.4 and 0.33. That way, that's the new matrix. The new matrix. So when you have the new matrix, then you also give us the new y. Y we have x1 and x2 here. We are told the new one has changed to what? To 400 and 800. Okay? 400, roughly 800. So kama tuko sawa, hapa tuseme x. Now we can rewrite the formula again in case we have forgotten or whoever is looking at our work has forgotten. We can remind them this is what we are doing, that we will need to get 1 out of the determinant, which is 0.1494. You multiply by the new matrix, which is 0.42, 0.40, 0.40, and 0.33, 0.67. Now you multiply this by the new matrix, 400 and 800. You remember how to multiply matrices? Good. So multiply and give me the answers. Those who are online, I hope you are following well. If you get stuck, you should let me know. question ya hivi. Sawa. What are the answers? Oh, Afura is asking how you. So he's asking how to do the multiplication. So this one, let me wrap here so that although I did not want to wrap this one, I still need it. So what I can do is that it will be 1 out of 0.1494. We said we normally create a 7 like this. So it will be 0.42 times 400 plus 0.33 times 800. Then 0.40 times 400 plus 0.67 times 800. So then the answer you divide by this. Is that okay, Wafula? What are the answers? 20? So we can make it 92. Yeah, you can give with the decimals or you can round up. Alafu hii mwingine? 46.59. 46.59. Yeah. So that is what the examiner wanted. Maybe naweza mwekea hii ni x1 na hii ni x2. So kutoka hapa mpaka hapa, that is what the examiner wanted. So hii yenye tulikuwa tumechora hapo awali is not part of what the question wanted. And I still want us to do another table because when you understand this table vizuri, you are in a position to answer any question that they can bring your way. Sasa, so hii kwanza tunajaza pamoja, look here. So we are now doing the new transactions table. And in doing the new transactions table, the new final demand here is 400 and 800. And the new total output here is 28, 19, 2, and 46.59. And like we explained earlier, this 28 ndio itakuja hapa 28.90, 2 na hii itakuwa hapa 46.59. Now what we do when you have values that have changed, you bring these ratios. So we have those ratios that we had computed in the matrix A, 0.33 and 0.40. Just like we added zeros hapa tukapata 1100, you now add these ratios. So if you add the ratio, it will be 0.73. Just like we said, what was here, to subtract 1100, to 400. Now this one is taken to be 1. It's the whole, is complete. So you get 1, you subtract this one. So that will be 0.27. So then, if you remember what we said, what I was saying, once you have these values here in column 1, you divide them using the total of row 1. Using the total of row 1. 1500. So now that we are doing the reverse, now we will multiply by the total of row 1, which is this one. So sasa hii itakuwa multiplied by 28, 92, hii 28, 92, this one the same thing, and this one the same thing. Sawa. Haya, nikikuja kwa hii ingine, nilete those other ratios 0.33 and 0.58. Add these two, uniambie ni 0.91. Haya, 0.91. So tumebakisha 0.09. Hiyo ifike 1, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, are we together?
Yeah.
Good. Sasa, now this is column 2. So you multiply using the total of row 2. 46, 59, 46, 59, 46, 59, 46, 59. You get the answers there. Get your answers there. And just to remind you, tulisema, when you are interpreting the values along the row, they show uses, how the output has been used. And when you are interpreting in the column, it shows the inputs. So quickly tengeneza the new table so that we can add a small question again and move on. Something else. Those who are online, once you are through with the new table, you write finished. You write the word finished so that I know you have finished. You're through? Good. So if you are through, as we take a small break for prayers, I would like us to attempt and you remember what I told you, that this one is a 3-3 relationship. Unakuanga na 3 threes. The first 3 ni hizi vitu ziko hapa ndani kwa hii cell. These are 3 figures, hii na hii na hii. So at any given point utakumepewa 2 of them, tafuta hiyo ingine. Kama sasa hivi tuko na hii na hii, tutafuta hii. Previously tulikuwa tumepewa ile 500 na ile 15, tukatumia kutafuta as the first 3. The second 3 is easy. This one, this one, this one. So at any given time utakushapewa 2 of them. Ile swali yako, ile tibo ya kwanza ilikuwa na this a na y. Tukatafuta x. Sasa saa hii tuko na hii x na tuko na hii. So inaweza kutusaidia kutafuta. The third 3 ni hii. If you add this secondary to this primary, they give you this total. Mera? Yes. So I would like us to handle this question of May 2018. Question 1C. Read through and attempt. I may not solve the whole of it. Yes. Are we through? No, I already needed the matrix. I already needed the matrix. Si kila mahali unachora table. Hizi table nimesema hazikuwa zinahitajika kwa exam. Kwa hiyo swali nilikuwa nimechora ndio ukuwe na full understanding of the question going forward and backward. But now this one, I just want you to give me the matrix. Just give me the matrix. That's what I want. The technological coefficient matrix. Achana na hiyo table wenye wanachora utajaza baadaye. Teremka hapo chini unipatie technological coefficient matrix. Technological coefficients matrix A, we have the producer here. The producer is called still we have vehicles, and we have construction. Then we have steel here. Vehicle construction. We have the user. So I want that matrix. So let me give you 2-3 minutes to finish up. Those who had already finished, you can be doing the others. We are through. The matrix. Umeweka 0.2, 0.3. Have you done it that way? 0.2, 0.4, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.1. That is how it should be. Are you okay with that? Okay. Yeah. Those who are online, I hope you are okay with that. Good. So if we are okay, then the total output X will be 1, rather I minus A inverse. You multiply by Y. So this is 1 out of 0.192, 0.46, 0.43, 0.30, 0.24, 0.60, 0.24, 0.26, 0.41, 0.42. We multiply by the new matrix. The total, it is the final demand is 20, 50, and 30. Now that one nitakuachia umalizie, si ndio? Yeah, because time ya hiyo imeisha. I need to do something else now. Uta multiply, or someone has already multiplied? Okay, if you have not, uta multiply. What I wanted to capture here is whether you could be able to interpret this. That's what I just wanted to capture. Good. So the next thing that I need to handle is this question. Yeah, let's go to this question of November 2019. Question 4C. Question 4C. November 2019, question 4C. If you are there, it says Kikwetu Company Limited is the sole producer of 3 cosmetic products, Meta, Nzuri, and Safi, which currently have a market share of that. Each week, some brand switching takes place. Of those who bought Meta the previous week, 60 buy it again, while 20 switch to Nzuri and 20 to Safi. Of those who bought Nzuri the previous week, 50% buy it again, while 40% switch to Meta and 10 to Safi. Of those who bought Safi, we are given that. So construct a probability transition matrix of the switching probabilities, a vector to represent the initial and whatever. Okay, so this question is on Markov analysis. Is on what we call Markov analysis. It's on Markov analysis. So if we have the initial market share, initial market share, matrix, it is going to be, we have Meta here, we have Nzuri, we have Safi, so the current market share, this is 0.4, and this is 0.4, and this is 0.2. From there, we do the transition matrix. Transition matrix. Transition matrix. So transition matrix, we normally say from, we have meta, we have Zuri, and we have Safi, we have meta, we have Zuri, and we have Safi 2. So tulisema in this matrix, a row shows retentions and losses, while a column shows retentions and gains. So tukisha karabati namna hiyo, we proceed and say each week brand switching takes place. Of those who bought Meta the previous week, 60% buy it again. So that is a retention, 0.6. While 20% switch to Nzuri, so that is a loss. So inawekwa hapo, and Safi 0.2 hapo. Then of those who bought Nzuri the previous week, 50% buy it again. So Nzuri 0.5. Then we have 0.4 and 0.1. Then those who bought Safi, 80%, they remain royal, so 0.8. Then we have 0.1 and 0.1. Tena tunaulizwa calculate a new market share a week after the current. A week after the current. So what we are given is this was the previous week. So currently it is so a week after. A week after market share. So you just take this one, which is 0.4, 0.4, and 0.2. You multiply by 0.6, 0.4, and 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, and 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, and 0.8. So multiply and give me the answers. Multiply and give me the answers. We are comfortable with the multiplications. 0.4 to 0.3, 0.28. And we said they should always add 1. Yeah. Haya, so kama tuko sawa hapo, tukimbie kwa 2018 November. Is on page 27, question 2B. So it says XYZ Limited deal in the production of detergents. On January 2017, the 3 companies introduced a similar new detergent to the market. Prior to introduction of the new detergent, the 3 companies had an equal share of the market. A survey conducted on the market shares of the 3 companies at that 1st of December revealed the following. So we have that. So you are told to get the market shares of the 3 companies for the year 2018. So when you are told to get that 1st December 2018, you will argue like this. That 1st of December 2017, when you multiply by transition matrix, when you multiply by transition matrix, you get that 1st of December 2018. So the question says that they had equal market share. So if they had equal, if you divide 1 by 3, you will get 0.33, 0.33. And because they must add to 1, this other one, then lazima tumpatie 0.34. Hata kama tumeambiwa they had equal, for the purposes of solving, it must add to 1. So, if you want to minimize the error, you can use like 5 decimals. Lakini hata hivyo ukitumia bado itakuwa kuna mwenye atakuwa favored kidogo, atakuwa slightly higher than mwingine. Yeah. So multiply by the transition matrix. Now transition matrix, you know we are from X, Y, Z here. And we are going to X, Y, and Z. So X had retained 90% of its customers. So XX 0.9. And lost 3 and 7 to, so this is 0.03 and 0.07. Y had retained 75, so 0.75 and 0.1 of X and 0.15. Then Z had retained 0.8 And then this one, it rose 5 to X, 0.05 and 0.15. So multiply, don't round up, use the figures as they come out. Then for the last one, to ensure that the 3 add to 1, here mwisho, you get it by subtracting the first 2 from 1. Yeah. So multiply. Moving very fast.
Yes, yeah. Yes. Using the first number. You using row by column.
So 0.33 times 0.9 plus 0.33 times 0.1 plus 0.34.
Ulikuwa unafanya nini? Like wewe ulikuwa na 0.33 na 0.9. Yes, but I was wrong. How? Nachukua 0.33 na multiply na hii ya kwanza. Narudi kwa hiyo 0.3 na za ya wani. Yes. I should go home. I assume says it is
You ready to do it? What have you gotten? 0.347. 0 points. Then 0.446. And they're adding exactly to 1. Must make sure they add exactly to 1. Because nikwambia hii ya mwisho, it is better obtained by subtracting these two from 1. Okay, it's adding, that is good. So in the long run, this one, you don't have to keep on saying red. Unakumbuka what you are doing in class, unasema red these days. You just go straight. You say this is x here, this is y. Alafu tunajua z hatuweki hiyo, tunasema ni 1 minus x minus. Si unakumbuka hiyo maneno? Yeah. Lakini ukitaka kuweka z ni sawa, but now you end up solving 3 questions instead of 2. So huwa tunaweka hivyo so that we can solve 2 questions. You multiply by the transition matrix, which is 0.9, 0.1, 0.05, 0.03, 0.75, 0.15, 0.07, 0.15, 0.80 should be equal to x, y, 1 minus x minus y. In the long run, inakuanga namna hiyo. So umefikisha hapo? Unaandika mpaka hapo? Okay, so kama ushaandika then tukasema what you do, you now start multiplying. Just like we have done with the other one, So tutasema 0.9x plus 0.1 y, then this one itakuwa 0.05 minus 0.05 x minus 0.05 y is equals x. So so putting like terms together, we are going to have 0.9x minus 0.05x minus 1x plus 0.1y minus 0.05y is equals to minus 0.05. Situko sawa hapo? Haya, now give me this 0.9 minus 0.05 minus 1 is minus 0.15. Is it? Negative 1, 5. So then kwa y itakuwa minus 0.05, y is equals to minus 0.05, and this one you call it equation number 1. You call it equation number 1. So we multiply now for the next one, so that we say 0.03x plus 0.75y plus 0.15 minus 0.15x minus 0.15y is equal to y. Okay, Janet.
0.5y minus 0.05.
Oh, it's positive. So put like terms together here. 0.03x minus 0.15x plus 0.75y minus 0.15y minus 1y is equals to minus 0.15. So this one becomes what? 0 point minus 0.12x. Then minus 4x is equals to minus 0.15, and you call it what? Equation 2. Oh, y. Now using matrix algebra. Using matrix algebra to solve. Using matrix algebra, we create the matrices minus 0.15, minus 0.12, 0.05, minus 0.4, multiplied by x, y here should be equal to minus 0.05, minus 0.15, but you can still solve using the elimination method. But because we are in the area of matrices, I like using that method so that we are able to remind ourselves of how to use matrices to solve simultaneous equations. So this becomes x here and y here to be equal to minus 0.15, minus 0.12, 0.05, minus 0.4, inverse multiplied by minus 0.05, minus 0.15, so we get the determinant. The determinant to be minus 0.15 times minus 0.4. You minus 0.12. Zero point zero 0.066. So the new matrix, we can just go straight now because we know how to do the new matrix. Don't have to keep on repeating. So it is 1 out of 0.066. We create the new matrix. New matrix, you change the positions of the major. So minus 0.4 and minus 0.1. Then you change the signs of the minor. So this one becomes 0.12 and this becomes minus 0.05. Then you multiply by negative 0.05, negative 0.15. So multiply and give me the answer. Maybe we can confine ourselves to 3 decimals. What are the answers? Zero points.
417.
417. Then 0.25. Okay. So thus X is 0.417. Y is 0.25 and Z is 1 minus 0.147 minus 0.25, which is 0. You have different values. Okay. 0.3. Yeah. You could differ kidogo depending on how you have routed. Yeah. But bora uhakikishe the 3 of them will finally go to 1. So I think that is the much I can do for today. Now 7 minutes, which I don't know whether they will be enough to do something at one time. We're going to kufanya swali ya Venn diagram. Kama nifanye kesho. Kufanya inahari. What do you think? I think we can do tomorrow. Alternatively, I'll check whether in one of my videos I have a video for set theory. If I get tumia, so that tomorrow to find these are the bits of probabilities. But kama sitapata, then tomorrow we do one question. Maybe if on your, but for today you can go revise those 2 areas that we have tackled. Okay? So tomorrow tuangalie Venn diagram. Sawa. So nikipata hiyo video nitawatumia tu immediately today. If I don't have it, then we shall do tomorrow. God willing.